Welcome to another episode of Morning Mobility with NATEFIT, where we will spend 15 minutes getting you moving in the morning, helping you create a movement habit. Today, we're going to focus on hips and spine. So we're going to start off in our cat-cow position. We're going to do cat-cow spine segmentation. We'll take our spine through flexion and extension, and then we will get some thoracic rotation in. So again, in this position, hands directly underneath the shoulders, knees directly underneath the hips. We're going to take our spine through flexion and extension. Starting with extension, we're going to start in a relatively neutral position. We're going to very slowly rotate our hips down towards the ground, taking our lumbar spine into extension, and we're going to create that wave all the way up the spine, going super slow, pushing your belly down into the ground now. Then the rib cage to the chest, picking that chest up, picking the chin up, going all the way to the cervical spine, looking up. We are now in full extension, and then we're going to reverse. Pushing up through the upper back. Pulling that rib cage in, pulling the belly in, tucking our tail between our legs. And we'll reverse. Just the hips, rotating the hips down towards the ground. Nice and slow. Pushing the belly down. Pushing the rib cage down. Working our way up the spine, pulling that chest up. Tuck the chin in, pick the chin up. Looking up as high as you can. And reverse. And one more. Pushing the belly down, then the rib cage, picking that chest up, pulling the chin back through the neck, picking the chin up, and reverse. Excellent. That's our cat-cow spine segmentation. Now we're going to add rotation to the spine. So same position. You are going to take your hand and place it behind your head. We're going to rotate and try to get our elbow pointed towards the ceiling, looking up at the elbow as we come up, and then back down. That's 2. This is isolating our thoracic spine to try to just get rotation out of that part of our spine. 2 more. You'll notice you get a little further every time. Excellent. We'll go to the other side. Okay, here we go. You'll notice one side probably has more rotation than the other. Lets you know what you need to work on. So how this isolates the thoracic spine is this kneeling position locks our hips in place and gets us to focus on rotation in just the thoracic spine. Reach. And one more. Excellent. We're going to go right back to our cat-cow position and do cat-cows again. Nice and slow, rotating the hips down towards the floor. Get as much out of the hips as possible, and then start working our way up the spine, pressing the rib cage down, picking the chest up, pulling the chin back through, and picking the chin up, and reverse. Tucking the head. And coming back into extension. It's okay if you don't have much control right now. As you do this more, you will find that you have more control, creating that wave up and down the spine. And one more. And reverse. Excellent. I'm going to give you a quick breather here, and then we're going to go back into our quadruped thoracic spine rotations. Again, if you need to take a little bit longer of a break, you can pause the video. Hand behind the head, rotating up, looking at the ceiling as you try to point that elbow up as high as you can, and back down. This is 4. And 5. Excellent. We'll flip over to the other side. Hand behind the head, and here we go. 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Excellent. Now that we've gained more range out of our spine, we're going to go to our thoracic spine cars, upload that information to the brain. In this kneeling position, again, if it's tough on your ankles, you can throw something underneath your butt to prop you up, or you can do it seated in a chair. Hands on the shoulders, starting with flexion, rotation, lateral flexion, extension, rotation, lateral flexion, back around in front. Come back to neutral and we'll start again. For some of you, As you open up more range in your tissue connected to these joints, you will notice you'll get a little bit sore. Anytime we open up range and we start using our tissue in that new range, it can create some soreness. It is completely normal. We'll go 3 in the other direction. Extension, rotation, lateral flexion, back around in front, and one more. Excellent. Next, we're going to go to our hip cars, get our hips warmed up, and then we will focus on some abduction of the hip. In our side lying position, hands clasped together, starting off by pulling our knee towards our chest. This is flexion, abduction, internal rotation, extension, adduction, which is towards midline, knees together, and reverse. We are covering all of the movements that our hip can do. Flexion, adduction, knees together. And again, flexion, abduction, internal rotation, extension, adduction, knees together, and reverse. If you've done episode 8, it's a very hip-heavy mobility class. And you will notice that we practiced a lot of movements of the hip, isolating them. And so if you've done that class, you will notice a lot more range out of your hips in this class. If you haven't done it, go search episode 8 and do that one. Flipping back over to the other side. Hands clasped together. And here we go. Flexion, abduction, point that knee to the ceiling. Rotating that ankle behind the knee. Pressing that knee back, squeezing the glute. Dropping to midline, knees together. And reverse, squeeze that glute. Point to the ceiling, rotate that knee towards the shoulder, pull towards the shoulder, return to midline, knees together, and again. For some of you, this might pull on your lower back a little bit. As we lack isolating the hip from the pelvis will get involved, so your lower back will try to stabilize the pelvis by working really hard. And reverse. Squeeze that glute, point the knee towards the ceiling, externally rotate, flex, return to midline, knees together. Got one more hip exercise to finish off. For this one, we're going to stand as wide as you can. Again, make sure you're safe during this position. I'm going to keep my legs straight. I'm just going to put my hands on my shoulders, tuck my elbows down, and we are going to bend down, pivoting at the hip, trying to keep our back relatively flat. You're going to feel a stretch here in your adductors. And as we push the hips back, you'll feel it in your hamstrings as well. We're going to pause and then come back up. When you come up, I want you to squeeze the glutes. You're going to feel a stretch in through here. I'm going to turn so you can see it from this angle. I'm going to do 5 reps. This is number 2. Feet pointed forwards, pushing the hips back, trying to keep that spine relatively straight as we come down. Feel the stretch in your hamstrings, pause, and then slowly come back up, squeezing the glutes at the top. And again. This is number 3. Four. And last one. 5. And that is another episode of Morning Mobility with NATEFIT. Again, I applaud you for prioritizing your health, taking care of your joints and tissues. This is a 15-minute class every single day, posted on YouTube at 5:30 a.m. Share with a family or friend that needs help, and I will see you tomorrow morning.